This year, the 8th and 9th of July saw landslides and flash floods lashing several parts of India. In Himachal Pradesh, torrential rains claimed at least 6 lives. In the Poonch town of Jammu and Kashmir, the bodies of 2 soldiers washed away in the flash floods. Uttarakhand also experienced landslides and flash floods, with water levels in rivers and streams surpassing danger levels. Chandigarh, Mohali and Panchkula, that collectively form a tri-city, also faced flood threats amid unprecedented rain. And New Delhi has recorded the highest ever rainfall in a single day in July since 1982. These horrific scenes are not just restricted to India. Even its neighboring country, Pakistan, is affected even more adversely. Over 70 people have been killed by floods and landslides in Pakistan since June. Flood fury spells misery across India and Pakistan. In this episode, we look at some of the shocking videos of nature's wrath caught on camera. Cloudbursts, flash floods, and landslides have been triggered by torrential monsoon rains in Himachal Pradesh, creating havoc, claiming human lives. "13 landslides and 9 flash floods were reported across the mountain state. The Chandigarh-Manali National Highway was blocked due to a major landslide. In fact, 736 roads, including 3 national highways, were blocked. Amid heavy rainfall in Himachal Pradesh, water from overflowing Beas River entered the Pandoh village in Mandi district, washing away a bridge connecting Aut village to Banjar. In response to the heavy rainfall, authorities of Pandoh Dam opened the floodgates to release excess water. Consequently, the water level of the Beas River has risen significantly, surpassing the danger mark. The Pandoh Lake is created by the dam and is located about 19 kilometers upstream from Mandi town on the Beas River. Manikaran Sahib, a famous Gurudwara or place where Sikhs come together to worship, was also flooded amid the downpour. These videos show that the Gurudwara's premises are fully submerged and River Parvati flowing above the main bridge. Ancient Shiva temple in Mandi was partially submerged in water due to the Beas River in spate. The temple has now been separated from the city since the bridge connecting it was washed away in floods.
बहुत ही खराब सिचुएशन है इन दिस टाइम, क्योंकि यहाँ पे जितना भी जो फ्लो आ रहा है वो सारा कुल्लू से आ रहा है. यहाँ पे इतना मतलब आप खुद ही रिवर का ये देख रहे हैं. लास्ट टाइम तो जो यहाँ पे जो टेम्पल है हमारे पंचमहावक्ता जी, जो शिव जी का टेम्पल है, तो उसके साथ पुल है वो भी कोलैप्स हो गया लास्ट टाइम. तो यहाँ पे हर जगह पे लैंडस्लाइड हो रहा है. बहुत ही कुल्लू में बहुत ही बुरे हाल है. अपनी जो वैली सिराज वैली है वहाँ पे भी बहुत ही बुरे हाल है सर. आई थिंक अगर ऐसे रहा 2-3 दिन में बहुत ही ज़्यादा ये नुकसान हो जाएगा यहाँ पे हिमाचल में.
Another frightening video has emerged from Kullu, a district in Himachal Pradesh. Intense rainfall resulted in landslides along the Beas River, causing a portion of the Kullu National Highway to be washed away. As a consequence, the flow of traffic between Mandi and Kullu was disrupted, leaving numerous vehicles stranded on the affected highway. Despite the red alert in Mandi, several residents have refused to leave their homes, fearing property damage. In some videos, Mandi Superintendent of Police Soumya Sambasivan is seen interacting with residents living along the Beas River and urging them to leave their homes due to the flood risk.
जिला के हालात अभी इस तरह के हैं, ये कंप्लीट डिजास्टर की स्थिति में हैं और सभी नदियां उफान पर हैं, बहुत ही ज़्यादा उग्र स्थिति है और बिल्डिंग्स, ब्रिजेस और पार्किंग एरियाज बहुत सारे जो जल में निमग्न हो चुके हैं। लेकिन हमने इवैक्यूएशन की बहुत अच्छी कार्रवाई की है। हमारी लोकल टीम्स और एसएचओस के साथ मिलकर हमने जहां जहां पर लोगों को खतरा है वहां से लोगों को हमने इवैक्यूएट किए। करीब 8 से 12 परिवार जो हैं उनके लोगों को हमने आज ही इवैक्यूएट किया और अभी भी इवैक्यूएशन की जो प्रक्रिया है वो जारी है।
The death toll in the state between the 24th of June to the 9th of July has been reported at 72, with 8 people missing and 92 injured. And property worth 4,000 crore rupees or $485 million has been damaged in the state. Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu urged people not to venture out. The India Meteorological Department, or IMD, has issued a red alert for 10 of 12 Himachal districts, including Mandi, Una, Hamirpur, Bilaspur, Chamba, Kangra and Kullu. Meanwhile, the National Disaster Response Force, or NDRF, and other rescue teams are active across affected areas. In this video, the NDRF team rescued 6 people who were stranded in the Beas River near Nagwain village in Mandi district, due to the rise in the water level of the river following incessant rainfall in the state. Flood victims who are living in a relief shelter are in disbelief. They've lost their homes and all their belongings to nature's fury.
हम तो मरे में भी नहीं और जिए में भी नहीं है, इस तरह से हो गए। हम तो बेघर हो गए, हमारे पास ना जमीन रही ना जगह, कुछ भी नहीं रहा हमारे पास। तो
सुबह जैसे उठे वैसे देखा हमने कि पानी का बहाव जो था बढ़ चुका था और जो हमने अपने मकान देखे तो पानी जो उसके बीच में बज रहा था। जब कोई रौला पड़ गया, कोई पानी आ गया, सब निकल गया अपने अपने साइड पे। तो कईयों के घर जैसे कि सामान निकालने के लिए निकले तो जो ऐसे मकान गिरने शुरू हो गए, सामान निकालने का भी मौका नहीं मिला।
The victims are relying on volunteers for their food and first aid as they temporarily stay in a relief camp. Incessant rainfall also wreaked havoc in another Himalayan state, Uttarakhand. In the Chamoli district, a bridge built over Jumagarh River was washed away. The Indo-Tibet border road was blocked and contact with over a dozen border villages was lost. Another video that went viral on social media from Uttarakhand shows a bus full of passengers trying to cross a heavily flowing river. The passengers are seen jumping out of the vehicle as the bus started tilting due to strong flow of the river in Ramgarh village. Reportedly, authorities reached the spot and rescued the passengers. In several parts of eastern and central Rajasthan, intense monsoon rains brought normal life to a standstill. Flooding out roads, rail tracks, low-lying residential areas and even hospitals. In Sawai Mansingh Hospital in Jaipur, various wards were flooded, including the cancer wing, which is located in the basement of the hospital. 15 cancer patients were reportedly shifted to safer areas. Videos also show patients on stretchers in the corridors and care assistants condemning the hospital staff over lack of beds and other infrastructure.
10 बार बोल लिया तो कहते हैं हम का अपने घर से बैठ जाए, हमारे पास कोई बेड नहीं है, कहीं भी लेटो कहीं मत लेटो। हम परेशान हैं साहब, इस बात से हमारी कुछ सुविधा होनी चाहिए।
Flood-like situation was also witnessed in Punjab's Mohali, where rainwater entered hundreds of houses in the city. A video of a posh residential area in Dera Bassi, a city in the state of Punjab, is doing the rounds on social media. People can be seen leaving their high-rise buildings in boats and tractor trolleys to a safer location as rain-fed water from the Ghaggar River entered fields, swamping large swaths of land. The district administration has deployed teams of the National Disaster Response Force, or NDRF, to rescue trapped people. In this video, they can be seen carrying out rescue operations after residential buildings in Dera Bassi got heavily flooded. The Indian Army too has joined flood relief operations in the region. India's Meteorological Department issued a red alert for 2 districts in Jammu and Kashmir, Kathua and Samba. Four persons, including 2 soldiers, died in the region due to rains, which triggered landslips and flash floods. The 2 soldiers drowned while crossing a mountainous stream during a patrol in the difficult terrain of Poonch. Both the bodies were later retrieved. Amarnath Yatra, an annual pilgrimage, was also suspended for 3 days due to widespread rain and landslides. The 62-day pilgrimage sees devotees set out for the cave shrine in the South Kashmir Himalayas. Nearly 15,000 pilgrims were stranded in Jammu and other places after the pilgrimage was suspended, but they remained undeterred and optimistic. On the 11th of July, the Amarnath Yatra resumed after 3 days. A record 100,000 devotees have visited the cave shrine since the commencement of the Yatra on the 1st of July. India's capital, New Delhi, wasn't spared the monsoon mayhem either. On the 12th of July, Yamuna water levels breached an all-time record of 207.49 meters. This record was set in 1978 after Haryana, a neighboring state, released water from the Hathni Kund barrage. The new record of water flow is now 207.55 meters. On the 9th of July, Delhi recorded a staggering 153 millimeters of rain in a 24-hour period. This is the highest rainfall in a single day in July since 1982. The downpour resulted in numerous areas of the city and the national capital region being submerged in water. Commuters faced difficulties as roads became impassable and traffic movement was restricted. The infrastructure was adversely impacted. In this video, Delhi's Public Works Department Minister Atishi got onto a boat to take stock of the Yamuna River amid rising water levels. Delhi's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal called for an emergency meeting. India's northeast region too has been affected by severe flooding after rains battered the region, turning roads into rivers and submerging villages. In the state of Assam, the flood situation continues to make life difficult for locals as water got into the homes of villagers. In the Barpeta district of Assam, around 40 villages were submerged due to flood waters. Nearly 10,000 people are affected.
हम लोग का यहाँ 2007 में हम लोग इधर आया 2007 या 6 में तब नदी तो यहाँ से 3 किलोमीटर था दूर था तो और यहाँ जो इरोजन हो रहा है 2 साल में यहाँ से 1.5 किलोमीटर था जमीन उधर लेकिन 2 साल में यहाँ तक पहुँच गए.
Residents of the district were seen living with a handful of their farm animals that they had managed to rescue from drowning in the floods.
গরু ছাগল বেড়া বরকি ইত্যাদি আৰু ধান চাউল বেলেগৰ খেত কৰি আনো সেইবিলাক তলাই গেছে নষ্ট হৈ গেছে মই পুৰা দুখিত সেইকাৰণে ৰাস্তাত ৰহি আছো.
This isn't the first time the villages of Assam have been inundated, leaving behind a trail of death and destruction. The Brahmaputra Valley that encompasses the northeast part of India witnesses floods almost every year, forcing residents to flee their homes, leaving behind their belongings. On the 4th of July, a massive rock crushed cars during a landslide in the landlocked state of Nagaland. A video from the accident site shows how cars turned into a heap of metal within seconds. 2 people died and 3 were injured in the accident. Miraculously, occupants of one of the cars were seen exiting it. The incident was captured on the dashboard camera of a car waiting behind. On the other side of India's border in Pakistan, monsoon rains have caused havoc. At least 80 people, including 8 children, have been killed by floods and landslides. On the 5th of July, heavy monsoon rains hit Lahore, flooding streets and several residential parts of the city. The 6th of July, 8 children in northern Pakistan were killed by a landslide while playing cricket after monsoon rains. The incident took place in the remote Shangla district. The children were all aged between 12 and 15. The Pakistan Army, along with the local rescue teams, pulled out 8 bodies after hours of efforts. Pakistan is no stranger to deadly monsoons. The country is still reeling from the catastrophic floods of 2022, which put a third of the country underwater. The cash-strapped country is still struggling to recover from last year's flooding, which caused $30 billion in damage. In both South Asian countries, monsoons are becoming more erratic. The reason? Climate change and global warming. Although floods are a recurrent natural occurrence, human-caused climate change is making severe flooding events like the ones we are seeing in India and Pakistan more widespread. And global warming is creating complex changes in our environment. There's a lot at stake. Is it possible to reduce damage from future floods and landslides?